But now you call my name in your reality, though it's hard to explain. I know I'll never be without you.
It is a Tuesday. It's July 4th,
Yeah.
2017. It's been a hard time to digest a lot, take it in. It's been difficult because you need time to mourn. You need time to look back on, a bad relationship, a sickness in the family, and really realize what you've lost. You need some time.
I don't think I can do it. I don't think I can continue the show.
I think it's a priority. You're expected to now.
So close.
I know.
So close.
Hey man, put it this way. From the beginning of 2017, January, we made a commitment. We told the fans of indie wrestling, of Ontario especially, we can't let down our province, that we would stick it out. And we've found some sponsorships along the way. We couldn't have had those sponsorships if it weren't for certain people in our lives. And that's what's tough.
Hipstar, we've had to actually call upon the sponsors, and this special edition of Tonight on Hipstar Tonight.
Live. We're outside, by the way.
Yeah, outside, actually, in Calgary, Alberta. We're at the site, the actual site where Smith grew up, at the old dungeon, the Hart House. And thousands of people have been coming by, dropping flowers and donations.
We're getting refunded for the plane tickets, right?
Yeah. I don't want to talk about it.
Okay.
Could you make me break up every time you talk about money?
No. Sorry. Go on. Seeing memories, furniture, bedbug mattresses on the curb, and knowing your life has to move forward and change. A lot of people are torn up about that, man. And
the first time I met him, he was living with our trainer, Chuck Simpson.
Yeah.
And we did a big show, Knights of Columbus Hall. I was managing Randy Vaughn, and Randy actually won the cup.
You won the tournament.
The tournament for the Smith Hart Cup. I can't say it.
Smith Hart Invitational. Yeah. 2003 champion.
And I managed
Sniper.
Randy, and it was the beginning points of my career. And Stu, I'll never forget it. Like, he wore the same green jacket for years every time I seen him, and he shook my hand backstage, and he's like, he didn't say good job, kid. He didn't do anything. He just, he asked me for a 20 bag, and it's just like, all right, like maybe it wasn't appropriate. Chuck was mad, but these are my memories, my times.
No, I know.
Memories that I have.
I did a Dunville show for Fug, and Whitey and I, in our Whitey tidies, with the Sugar Twins at this point.
Yes.
And we're in our trunks. And obviously, we're young, and we're at that stupid point where we're like, hey, walking around in public in our tights is a cool thing to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And, we're in, like, children are around us in petting zoos, and we're in underwear.
Right.
So there's lambs. There's really nice llamas there, too. And Smith's behind me. He walks up. And he looks at my legs, and he looks up, and he says, you're looking pretty rugged in those tights there. Yeah. And that's exactly the sentence.
That was a beautiful impression of Smith. I love you, Smith, and and I love that we were able to contribute to the Heart and Soul Foundation over the past year. Obviously, the foundation was set up initially because Stu owed me $2,000 for ripping me off on an indie show we were doing in Keswick. And I had set up the foundation along with you in order to help Smith pay me and get the $2,000, but obviously
it made him a founding father in that way.
Yes.
Right?
The Heart and Soul Foundation, of course, with the co-founder being Soul Man Ricky Johnson, is why it was deemed the Heart and Soul Foundation. And it's just tough times, and like we try to get Ricky on the show today, but it just seems like it's very hard to talk about this. I mean, 68 years old. The news that was all over the CBC with his death. The eldest son, the founding father, the Hart. What would you call them? The Hart kids?
The dynasty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it makes me wonder. I mean, it was Brett's even birthday the day that he passed. Like, it's got to be emotional for Brett. Like, and Brett's not answering the phone, and it just seems like we flew out here. None of the Hart family are at the, you know, I didn't know that this house was sold, or like I don't know what's going on. I just
didn't know it was on its last legs in that sense, like that. It certainly is.
It's just very hard, and I think like on today's show we should blow off the sponsors. We don't need to be talking about 1-800-NEED-A-GIMMICK or the original 1-800-NEED-A-GIMMICK.com or Find Topher, because it's just, this is
but
our
if you
special.
call right now,
yeah, well, we do have gimmicks available. I seen a worker today, Quicksilver, on a Hogtown show that definitely needs a new pair of gimmicks. I'll be getting in contact with you, bro, over at Battle Arts, because we got some gear for you. And I think that the business, I don't want to get away from the Memorial show, but the business has been oversaturated with masks and
you're right.
long tights. And I just think, like...
the wet pleather.
Yeah. And it's just something
Flat off.
like... We have so
Trip your
much
ankles.
inventory on masks here, and they fly out the door, and it's a hot seller, but I just kind of want to stop selling this shit.
Because, like, there's no more mask designs anymore.
No.
They're all taken.
Yes.
You know when you're wearing it, you're like, wait, that's not male mascaras. Like, what the fuck?
And even the idea of painting your face, a lot of it becomes just a silhouette of the mask anyways. Like, they just paint a mask on their face.
And it's messy, and I've leaked on so many people's tights.
Yeah,
and,
I don't know.
I gotta spend my pay on, supplying
some of
his
these guys,
tight
like
foundation.
Viking, just put black on their eyes, and it's running all over the fucking place. Like,
Gooping. Just drooping.
and it's just something that I
Gobs.
know that if Smith were here today, he'd be so against.
Yeah.
You know?
It's true.
He didn't go to Mexico with a mask on his face.
Yeah, you don't want to hide yourself. You want to be seen.
Yeah, you got the money shot, bro.
Yeah.
You got the face is the money.
It's all about the prizes and the ladies.
You know, Hipstar,
Puerto Rico.
where do we go from here? Where does the Hart family go from here? I mean, there's money that needs to be contributed, but the Harts, like,
And we really appreciate the donations.
Yeah.
By the way, it's been a lot of support, and we really appreciate that. I've been on vacation, so I haven't been.
I was
able
watching
to
footage
get to my
earlier
email.
that somebody posted of Smith last January at Owen's gravesite cutting a promo.
Yeah.
And he had talked about Owen's wife, Martha, not allowing him to see the kids, and it just tears me up that, like, his what would they be, his niece and nephew, I guess.
Yeah, they would be. Yeah. Uncle Smith.
And knowing,
Unky
like,
Smith.
like, how does that, like, what is this funeral going to be like, really? Like, the people, he was in Ontario for so long, he was such a representative of Hogtown, he brought that company to another level.
Well, what he brought to Ontario, what he's done for Ontario.
Yes, you know?
The contributions, the Garretts, those guys. Just like you just said earlier, though, when you're like, nobody wants to talk about this, it's a hard time. Well, of course it is. Nobody has the words yet. And I don't think I have the words.
I do want to bring something up on air that I've been meaning to, I just don't know how to say it, but our trainer, Chuck Simpson, has been messaging me, and I don't know, now that Smith's passing, like, Chuck, he's lived with at Chuck's house for so many years. I think Chuck wants to go to the funeral,
Yeah.
but can't afford to get there. So I'm wondering, should we put proceeds from the Heart and Soul Foundation, because we don't have Smith anymore,
Yeah.
should we transport Chuck to the funeral?
Well, we got on hipstar.ca, we got a change.org fund.
Okay.
You can donate straight to there. It will go straight, directly as gas money to Chuck Simpson's
And
transportation.
we can make it interactive. We can make it fun for the fans. And we should put a poll up on hipstar.ca.
Yeah.
Should we send Chuck to the funeral? Would you like your contributions to send Chuck to the funeral, or just keep banking up the money for, what he owed me
Yeah,
before
we'll see.
he passed?
It'll be your decision, whatever
I mean,
donations you...
Smith, you don't
put
owe
in.
me the money anymore, but somehow I still got, I'm $2,000 out.
Yeah, right? And that's been, 10 years now?
Oh, it's been a while.
Yeah.
It's
10
like,
years ago, think about what you could have done with $2,000.
I just think Smith from, he had left the territory, as they all do when they owe money, and
Collect and leave, yeah.
And last I know, he was living with Matt Garrett, who was another, I don't want to say shady promoter, because I'm looking for an upcoming booking he's doing at Battle Arts.
Yeah.
But back then he was shady, yeah. And it's just like, Smith just kept skipping town on me, and it was just hard to locate him. And the couple of times that I did run into him at the Lula Lounge, he had just completely ignored me and told me to fuck right off.
Yeah.
And I just, I don't want to be one of those workers that disrespects the vets, so I just figured it was best. And you, along with me, have been very grateful and very helping me into setting up the Heart and Soul Foundation. And, you know, of course, that's not what we're here to talk about today. It's obviously a memorial show.
Memories and trying to reflect. Reflecting will help us get over this, and I hope you as a listener realize that too. Yeah, okay. Well, I didn't want to, but I guess like we can read this. But this caller writes in. Says, hey Jay, please tell the story of you and Smith, rather,
right,
on the road coming out of Smithville. And
that's a tough one, yeah.
How Smith wanted to go to the mayor and take over the city. Would really appreciate it. Paul Domanis, Bridgeport, Ontario.
Yeah, thanks, Paul. We had an angle cooked up in Smithville. Smith was running a show in Smithville, and the angle was because he was Smith that he would be the mayor of the town. So Smith would have wanted to come in for like one big return match. He was getting in the ring. He had got gimmicks made up.
I love it here.
Yeah.
It's named after me.
And he thought that we would draw over, you know, a long weekend in Smithville.
Because I'm Smith, and it's Smithville.
Yeah, so he had contacted the mayor, and we got into a media battle on the air on AM radio, and it just seems like he was using me to be the heater because Smith was coming in as a heel, obviously, for the mayor, but wanted to go over as a babyface because he, you know, wanted to take over that town.
Yeah.
He was looking at property out there, in fact. He had bought some...
cheap.
He was
cheap.
investing, and, you know... So we end up doing a show in front of a tattoo parlor, you know, out on Elm Street.
On the corner.
It was a road show. It was a free show, like the citizens can call it. And he wanted me to shoot on the mayor and tell him there's a new deputy in town, pal, and his name's Smith Hart.
And you bring me out. My musical hit.
And I am telling you, I thought I've never cut such a great heel promo in my life.
Came from the heart.
Smith Hart. I had the heat going on me, but as soon as that... It hit, and he came out in a Canadian jacket and like a Pedro Morales style weens and knee pads and boots, and I think the weens were even given him by Pedro. He was talking about in Puerto Rico. He was big in Puerto Rico in the day.
That would make sense.
And
met his wife there.
The crowd just started running from neighborhoods, from houses out to see Smith Hart in Smithville, and Smith came in.
Pouring out of their apartments.
And the mayor went to say something to him. Smith grabbed his mayor's crest from around his neck, put it on his own head, and the crowd popped. Standing ovation. Smith slaps the mayor right across the face.
Not
drops him into DDT. Goes for a falsie out of that. Picks him up on the count of two. Throws him out of the ring and pile drives him out on Elm Street in front of City Hall.
Yeah.
In front of City Hall.
That's wow.
Smith doesn't end there. He walks into the mayor's office, puts his feet up, and then he's like, I'm the new sheriff in town. 7-day work weeks. Kids go to school every day. He did not give a shit. And I think there is still a memorial plaque. I'll post the link up over on hipstar.ca of the Smith Hart plaque taking over Smithville. There is a memorial plaque out there. Smith Hart runs and owns Smithville, Ontario. And God bless you, Smith, because those were some great memories.
And it really was. What an angle, too, because, again, like you said, families pour out, think it's like major face pop, and then he's like, nope, you're all working every day of the week. I'm a heel mayor now. Yeah. What a swerve.
And in fact, Smith actually screwed the landlord. He bought property there, but he was living in like a trailer that he was renting and skipped town again because the weed in Smithville was garbage.
Yeah.
And he couldn't get high. And it's just like, that's something that was like a vice with Smith. Like he liked his marijuana. And, you know.
Yeah.
It just seems like...
memories, man.
Yeah, memories. You know, so Smith, this one's for you, bro.
Yeah. Put them up and remember. Okay? Memories are what tell our stories and what helps us pay them forward. We lost a great, but we can continue the legacy. Best there is, best there was, best there ever will be. Yeah, that's all you can ask for on a Tuesday. It's the beginning of the week and we can get over this. Just over. Just so over. When it's tonight. Tonight on Hipstar Tonight.